Guys, I'm sorry, I forgot to video this. So I just bought this truck. This is a 1999 Dodge Ram 2500 5.9 Cummins. I got a crazy good deal on this truck. $2,400, and there's like absolutely no rust. I mean, there's a little bit in the bed and stuff, but when you open up the doors, I mean, look at that. Nothing in the cab. Everything's solid. I mean, got a couple interior things to fix. You know, just no big deal stuff. But what really caught me about this truck, and I've never seen it before in this year, is it's got crank windows. How cool is that? Like, this is definitely like an old school build I'm gonna be doing. Cracked dash. Gotta clean the headliner. But I'm gonna keep this rubber mat. Fix up these door panels. All the doors work too. It's a 4-door. It's got a built trans. It's got an edge tuner. All the gauges. That's a fuel pressure gauge. It's got a lift pump too. This truck only has like 230,000 miles on it. I mean, like I said, I bought this truck for $2,400, and I think that's an absolutely insane deal, especially with the trans being built. It's got a lift pump, it's got injectors, it's got the tuner, barely any rust, old school crank windows, the rubber floor. I mean, this is like a rare truck too, especially with all like the particular options. It might not be the Laramie. Most people would think that the Laramie would be worth more just because of, you know, it was a more expensive option. But actually, in reality, since they made less of these, this is the option to have. The 4x4 works. Like I said, $2,400. Everything works. It runs and drives. I drove it I went 45 minutes away to go pick it up. I'm in the Chicago area, McHenry, Illinois, and it was about 45 minutes from me. I was looking for 2 years for a diesel truck, and finally found one for the right price with all the right stuff. I mean, this thing's ready to get all the good stuff and go through. And I mean, there's a couple things wrong. If you look, I mean, the wiring's kind of janky, so I'm going through that and fixing that. But I mean, everything else, I know it's got a power steering leak. I just power wash. So normally when I first get a car, I'll pull out the batteries and I will scrub the engine down. Like, I use some garbage bags. Sorry I didn't film it. Totally slipped my mind. I put some garbage bags over this kind of stuff. I mean, as you can see, it's dry compared to the rest of the motor being wet. I put a garbage bag all over this. And then I power washed it. Yeah, I know. I used some Dawn dish soap to try to get all the grease off and stuff, and now I go back with some rags and just wipe everything down, see what's going on, and that way I could see where all the leaks are coming from, and I could fix all the leaks, you know, because that drives me nuts. And then I'm gonna fix all this wiring. These are for the gauges, these 3 things right here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, is fixing the gauges, because those just need to be gone through and put in like a box like this. And then that's it for the wiring. I mean, it's going to be perfect after that. And like I said, since this one has the lift pump, that's a good sign. Like, you got to be real careful with these 24 valves, because they got the VP pump in them, and it's right here, driver's side. And if it doesn't have a lift pump, that's what makes those go bad, because it tends to not get enough fuel, and it gets them hot and it burns out the motors, and that's about a $1,500 fix. So right when this thing had the lift pump and all the tuners and everything on it, built trans, all the good stuff, I mean, this was definitely an easy buy for me, especially since I'm just going to clean it up. This is going to be a restoration, guys, so stay tuned. This is just kind of a sneak preview. Like I said, I power washed all this stuff. So I mean, this is just easy maintenance things, you know, just power washing all the coolers and intercoolers and everything to get anything that's out, because with diesels, heat is the enemy. So that's what you need to do. And let's see. There's that. See, that should be the heating block right there. Huh. They must have took the heating block off. Okay. So yeah, so these Cummins, by the way, don't have like traditional glow plugs like you'd see on a Ford or a Chevy. They have something called like a heat exchanger, and it sits right here on the intake, and it's like fins, and it looks like this one's not, it looks like they took it off and did a delete, because this is the fuel line right here. So I mean, I don't see any plug-ins or anything, which kind of got me worried, because in winter you definitely want to have heating up your air. And I mean, it restricts it though a little bit, but I mean, it's definitely worth it, especially if you live in like the Chicago area. But like I said, yeah, I went 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. So I mean, I drove it home and there was no issues. I mean, this thing's got crazy amount of power. So this is the next build, guys. This is what I'm going to be building. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I've been saving for a truck, and I finally found one for the right price, $2,400. And I mean, it was such a crazy good deal. I mean, honestly, this truck right now, I would say goes for $5,500, $6,000. And I mean, just because it has exhaust, I mean, it has everything, the built trans, the options on it, like with the crank windows and everything. I mean, this is a $5,000 to $6,000 truck. The way it sits, after I get done and doing everything, who knows, you know, sky's the limit. But I'm going to keep this one. This is just going to be a fun little truck to play around with on the weekends, maybe go to car shows. But it's going to be a long project, so guys, stay tuned. Watch the show, you know, take some tips, and definitely when you first get a vehicle, I would say, you know, cover certain things, electrical mainly, and power wash the engine. I power wash it. Never had an issue. I know some people are, you know, real hesitant to do that, but I don't see an issue with it. So I just power wash everything, so that way I can see exactly where all the leaks are coming from and know exactly what I need to fix. All right, guys, stay tuned. Thanks. Bye.